sing without disguise. Everything feels warm and right since you stepped into the light. The world was never really dark, just waiting on your spark. Now it dances with your name, like it always knew you came. You don't even try to shine, still the world begins to rise. Painted windows, brighter skies, birds that sing without disguise. Everything feels warm and right since you stepped into the light. Your fingers brushed against my hand, didn't rush, didn't plan. The silence said more than words, like we already knew. One step closer, then we pause. Let it be without a cause. Like first, snow light on the street, quiet love, so bittersweet. We don't talk, but we align. Winter hearts that intertwine. Mitten swing from quiet arms, eyes reflect the evening charm. Even with the chill so near, there's nothing to fear. One step closer, then we pause. Let it be without a cause. Like first, snow light on the street, quiet love, so bittersweet. We don't talk, but we align. Winter hearts that intertwine. Frozen trees don't hide the glow. Moments melt before they go. And in this fleeting little scene, you're the calm within the green. Like first, snow light on the street, quiet love, so bittersweet. We don't talk, but we align. Winter hearts that intertwine. When the frost begins to fade, we will still be unafraid. Because this calm, this silent light grew stronger in the quiet night. When the night feels colder than before, and the silence grows too loud to bear. You don't have to walk this road alone. I'll be the light that guides you home. No shadows can stay when I'm near. Lean on me, I'll calm your fear. I'll stand beside you through the fall, catch you gently if you lose control. Through every tear and every sigh, together we'll reach for the sky. When the world feels far and wide, I promise I'm always by your side. If your heart feels broken in the rain, and the days seem to wash away, hold my hand and breathe with me. There's strength in what will always be. No shadows can stay when I'm near. Lean on me, I'll calm your fear. I'll stand beside you through the fall, catch you gently if you lose control. Through every tear and every sigh, together we'll reach for the sky. When the world feels far and wide, I promise I'm all. Always by your side. When hope feels like a distant shore, know I'm here forevermore. You're not alone, just call my name. I'll be the steady in the change. I'll stand beside you through the fall, catch you gently if you lose control. Through every tear and every sigh, together we'll reach for the sky. When the world feels far and wide, I promise I'm always by your side. The sun paints gold across the sky, a gentle breeze, the perfect sign. Our hearts beat slow in harmony. Today's the day we've dreamed to be. Whisper soft, your hand in mine, a silent vow beyond all time. No need for words, just look and see. Forever starts with you and me. This moment, us, we come alive. The day we say I do inside. With every every breath I'm holding true. The future shines because of you. The world fades out, it's just us two. In this embrace so warm and true. The love we've built so pure and bright guides us through this sacred night. Whisper soft, your hand in mine. A silent vow beyond all time. No need for words, just look and see. Forever starts with you and me. This moment us, we come alive. The day we say I do inside. With every breath I'm holding true. The future shines because of you. So here we stand, forever new. This moment us, I choose you. The list can wait another day. My thoughts are done with the replay. I turn the volume down inside and let the worries take a ride. Today I choose a different tone, a quiet beat that's all my own. Let it off, let it slide, let the pressure move aside. Feel the sunlight on my skin, start to let the peace begin. Let it off, let it slide, let the pressure move aside. Feel the sunlight on my skin, start to let the peace begin. The mirror doesn't ask for much, just kindness and a lighter touch. I leave the burden at the gate. I won't let hurry seal my fate. Today I choose a different tone, a quiet beat that's all my own. Let it off, let it slide, let the pressure move aside. Feel the sunlight on my skin, start to let the peace begin. Let it off, let it slide, let the pressure move aside. Feel the sunlight on my skin, start to let the peace begin. Take a breath and count to 10. I'll never chase what breaks again. The world can spin without my hand. I'm finding peace where I stand. Let it off, let it slide, let the pressure move aside. the sunlight on my skin start to let the peace begin. Every step a little lighter, every laugh a little brighter. I'm not made to bear it all. Some things are fine when they fall. Let the sunlight touch the floor. Close the door, don't ask for more. Lie down where the moment leads. Feel the weight of what you need. You don't have to always go. Let the rhythm start to slow. Let it settle, let it stay. Let the stillness guide your way. Nothing's wrong with fading fast. In the calm you'll breathe at last. Let the shadows move with grace. No one's running any race. Breathe like time has gone to sleep. Drift into a rest so deep. You don't have to always go. Let the rhythm start to slow. Let it settle, let it stay. Let the stillness guide your way. Nothing's wrong with fading fast. In the calm you breathe at last. You are not a ticking clock. You can pause the world's loud talk. Peace is something you can keep, even in the deepest sleep. Let it settle, let it stay. Let the stillness guide your way. Nothing's wrong with fading fast. In the calm you breathe at last. Dim the lights and close your eyes. Let your thoughts float through the skies. You deserve the sweetest rest. You've already done your best. There was silence in the field. Colors faded, time stood still. Then you came and breathed it new. Turned the gray to every hue. Now every petal lives with grace.
Sound check.
Because you smiled into this place where you step flowers start to bloom, chasing sunlight out of gloom. Your warmth wraps the coldest air and leaves leaves a trace of something rare. Even shadows move aside to make more space for love to rise. You don't try, it just begins. Like the green that fights within. Every root you gently near grows with strength and sheds its fear. Now every petal lifts with grace, because you smiled into this place. Where you step, flowers start to bloom, chasing sunlight out of gloom. Your warmth wraps the coldest air and leaves a trace of something rare. Even shadows move aside to make more space for love to rise. You don't even know the light you give, but it's the reason so much lives. In quiet ways you heal the ground, turning stillness into sound. Where you step, flowers start to bloom, chasing sunlight out of gloom. Your warmth wraps the coldest air and leaves a trace of something rare. Even shadows move aside to make more space for love to rise. Every night I
Sound
count
check.
the lights
Okay lang ba yung
above,
lakasan ko ba, ma'am?
each one a spark of endless love.
Okay, good morning po sa lahat. So, in a few minutes, we will be starting our program.
Can't
So,
match the
hinihintay lang po natin si R.D. Wilson
inside
Leharde.
your name. My heart beats louder in the dark. Your love's the fire that lights the spark. More than stars that fill the skies, my love for you will never hide. Beyond the stretch of endless space, it's written in each gentle place, in every breath, in every glance. This love will hold, it will advance. When the quiet fills the air, I feel your presence everywhere. No galaxy can shine as bright as what we share within the night. My heart beats louder in the dark. Your love's the fire that lights the spark. More than stars that fill the skies, my love for you will never hide. Beyond the stretch of endless space, it's written in each gentle place, in every breath, in every glance. This love will hold, it will advance. Hold on close through time and space. our love remains a sacred place. No force can take what we have made, a light that never will fade. More than stars that fill the skies, my love for you will never hide. Beyond the stretch of endless space, it's written in each gentle place, in every breath, in every glance. This love will hold, it will advance. When the world feels sharp and wide, and there's nowhere left to hide, let your tired spirit lean on something calm, on something clean. You're not alone in this long fight. Let me be the quiet light. Let me hold the heavy parts, the ones that ache inside your heart. I won't ask for much from you, only what you want me to. Some days weigh more than they should. You've done all you ever could. Rest your hopes inside my chest. Let your breath do all the rest. You're not alone in this long fight. Let me be the quiet light. Let me hold the heavy parts, the ones that ache inside your heart. I won't ask for much from you, only what you want me to. I'll walk slow if you.
Sound check. Sound check. Sound. Hello. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Inaanyayahan po ang lahat na tumayo para sa opening prayer, and then followed by the Philippine National Anthem.
Let us put ourselves in a holy presence of God. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather together today. We ask that you open our hearts, minds, and souls as we discover more about the world around us. We pray that you will guide us in all ways, so that we will seek your will in everything that we do. We ask all of this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Pwede na po tayo mo po. So once again, good morning po sa ating lahat. So in behalf of National Telecommunications Commission Regional Office 3, welcome to today's Kapihan sa NTC 3 with the theme Usaping Timescap at iba pa. So we are grateful for your presence as we discuss one of the most pressing issues affecting our digital lives. So scams related to the AFSA law, which is Anti-Financial Scamming Act, and how our government agencies and telcos are working together to combat these threats. So to officially begin our program, may we call on our OIC Regional Director, Engineer Wilson Lijarde, for his opening remarks.
Okay, so good morning to everyone. So I'm very happy today kasi number one, the weather is good. Yeah, kasi this schedule supposed to be during our anniversary, July 21. And medyo binabagyo po tayo. Kaya I'm so happy today at natuloy din po at last yung ating activity for today. And siyempre, hindi po matutuloy ito kung wala po yung mga kasamahan natin from the our stakeholder, no? Number one po, we'd like to welcome our friends from the media, esteemed mga our chairperson from the KBP Pampanga, Ma'am Tyra Vitug, and officers and members po ng KBP. Good morning po to our Chief of the Regional Anti-Cybercrime Unit, PNP Region 3, Police Colonel Artemio Ricabo. Good morning, sir. And kasama po niya yung kanyang assistant po, no? Police Major Evangeline Emiliano, deputy po. Okay? Also, like to take representative from Globe, Ma'am Jan Merced, and the team by Sir Francisco Kiko Mariano from Globe Telecom. Good morning po and thank you. And company po. Also, from the Smart, our friend from Globe, no? Mr. Anthony Fernandez. And kasama po niya ang ating legal, no? Attorney Kenneth Rigañon. Good morning. So, kasama po natin in the panel si Attorney John Ryan Said, our legal officer. Okay. So, to all the guests, no, members ng press, thank you for joining us today for this important press conference on the recently enacted Anti-Financial Scamming Act or AFASA law to address one of the most pressing challenges in our digital and financial landscape, the alarming rise of financial account scamming and online fraud, no, or tech scam. So yun po, no, ang dami nating nare-receive and nag-i-evolve po yung mga ano natin is scam ngayon, nandun na po sa mga financial scheme na. So as financial scam continue to evolve and harm countless individuals, families, and business across the nation, this law marks a major milestone in our collective effort to protect the Filipino people from deceitful and criminal financial scheme. So, countless individual, family, businesses mo, no, naging ano na dito. So, this scam do more than steal money. They shattered trust, cause emotional trauma, and undermine the safety of our digital economy. Today mark a significant step forward in our collective response to this threat. The Anti-Financial Accounts Scamming Act, it's not just a legal measure. It's a declaration of our commitment to protect the public, hold the perpetrator accountable, and restore trust in our financial institution. Okay, so today we will outline the key provision of the AFASA law, explain how it empowers our law enforcers and regulatory agency, and share how the public can be involved in fighting scam and promoting a culture of vigilance and financial security. So this bring together with the lawmaker and law enforcers, the banking sector, cybercrime, cybersecurity expert, the public, also our media people. It recognizes that only through a collaboration can we effectively detect, prevent, and punish financial fraud. Let us work together not only to pass the law, but to promote awareness, strengthen enforcement, and empower every citizen to stay informed and protected. So, ano po namin, project po namin ni Colonel yun na we have to keep on warning, no? Awareness sa mga tao kasi ang dami na po nating mga nabibiktima usually sa mga ano, no, with the technology namin po. Then together we can stop fraud before it starts. Together we can ensure that justice keeps pace with technology, and together we can build a safer, more secure future for all. So, thank you for your presence today, and sana malaking bagay po ang magkaroon tayo ng ganitong mga activity. Marami pong nabibiktimang kababayan natin, at para masugpon o mabawasan, kung hindi man talaga matanggal, at least po makatulong tayo on this activity. So today, so again, thank you very much for your presence today. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much po, OICRD, for that inspiring message. So now, to give us a brief overview of the Anti-Financial Scamming Act law and the role of the NTC in the fight against fraudulent activities. Let us all welcome Attorney John Ryan Segit, Legal Officer of NTC Regional 3.
Good morning, everyone. Nice meeting you again. So, parang last year lang po, di ba? Nandito rin tayo for kapihan. So, to our partners, the media, and of course, our favorite partner, the Anti-Cybercrime Group, Colonel Ricabo, and of course, from our good morning, everyone. So, yung sa APASA Law or Anti-Financial Account Scamming Act, na-mention na ni Regional Director Engineer Wilson Lijarde yung summary ng batas. So usually yung ano ba't ba merong ganitong APASA Law or RA 12010? Kasi itong, di ba, remember when the pandemic happened, parang napabilis yung conversion natin to everything online na, digital. So, before kasi parang ang gumagamit lang ng mga online banking, online account, merong online financial account, nagbabayad through internet, nagbabayad through other electronic means, yung mga techie lang. Pero dahil sa pandemic, hindi lang yung mga pangkaraniwang tao ay gumagamit ng online through shopping. Ngayon, lahat na eh. So, yung cellphone mo, nandito na lahat. May GCash ka, Maya, yung online banking po, nandito na lahat. Pero yung ina-address kasi nung APASA, yung mga bigagri siguro si Colonel Ricabo, na economic sabotage, pag ginamit mo yung financial accounts, kagaya ng e-wallets, yung sa mga scam. I remember when I did my research, meron daw nahuli sa somewhere in Cavite na mga vlogger na ginagamit yung mga online account nila to scam people. And according to a press release ng BSP, that's the first na nakasuhan ng APASA Law. So second, yung pagbebend. Third, yung ano natin. So yung social engineering. Ano ba yung social engineering? Parang napaka hirap na maintindihan. Simple lang yun eh. You remember yung budol-budol? From 90s pa yata yan, 80s, yung usually, ang ginagamit ng budol-budol, telephone, di ba? Yung tatawag sa kasambahay, na-aksidente yung amo mo, nasa hospital, pumunta ka sa kwarto niya, buksan mo yung vault, kunin mo yung pera. Ganun lang rin yun. Social engineering, gumagamit sila, tatawagan ka. Usually, na-receive namin ng complaint dito sa NTC. So, pupunta dyan sa complaint desk namin. Tatawag ako, hindi masagot ng normal staff namin dito kasi medyo legal and technical na siya. So, sabi niya, attorney, may tumawag sa akin, halimbawa from this bank. So, na ganito, nabigay niya yung OTP, yung social engineering. Or minsan, yun napakading social engineering. Meron naman na social engineering na sobrang matagal, weeks, days na gagawin. Pero targeted kasi yung victims doon. So yun yung to address that, kasi digital and yung nagpasa yung Congress na pinirmahan ni President Marcos yung APASA Law. So, APASA Law, NTC, parang anong connection niya? Parang ang layo, di ba? Kasi financial account, usually ang main authority kasi with regards to APASA Law, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Kasi sila yung regulator ng mga bangko, ng mga e-wallets. Anong connection ng National Telecommunications Commission sa APASA Law? Kasi karamihan ng scam ngayon nangyayari through cellphones, through SIM cards, through text scams na nagko-connect sa mga sa mga online banking, e-wallets, GCash, PayMaya. So ano bang connection ng NTC? Siyempre ang NTC kasi nagre-regulate sa mga telcos, particular with regards to SIM card registration law. So ang ginagawa ng NTC, nare-regulate natin na in-comply ng mga telcos yung batas with regards to SIM card registrations. So ang NTC, everyday nakaka-receive kami ng mga scam, ng mga complaint for scams with regards to e-wallet, with regards to banks na nakatanggap silang tawag. So yun naman, technically wala kaming magagawa with regards to kung paano natin isolve yun kasi hindi naman po law enforcement agency ang NTC, but we can block or we can refer the complaints to proper government agencies like BSP, the Anti-Cybercrime Group, or endorse the complaint to our telcos, to Globes, to Smart, to address the problems. So napansin rin naman natin, through the efforts ng kagaya nitong kapihan na educate yung mga tao. Kasi ang number one solutions to these scams is to educate the public. So nabawasan naman may months na nababawasan talaga, hindi na medyo konti yung scams. So magandang rin na kasi yung NTC kasi particular Region 3, lagi kaming umiikot sa mga partners media namin to conduct interviews, input drive with regards to latest. Kasi every month yata may bagong scam. Pero same modus, pero binabago lang nila yung modes, pero same concept lang rin. So nandito po ang NTC and together with our partners from Anti-Cybercrime Group and our telcos to educate and to answer your queries with regards to APASA law, tax scams, and ano bang pwedeng gawin ng gobyerno at ng ating mga partners sa telcos para ma-address itong mga concern nito. Maraming salamat po.
So thank you so much po, Attorney Jan. So now we move on to the highlights of this morning event, which is our panel discussion. So joining us today are the key representative from law enforcement and the telecommunication industry. So start with from the PNP Regional Anti-Cybercrime Unit 3, we have Police Colonel Artemio Biricabo, Chief RACU 3, Police Major Evangeline M. Jimeniano, Assistant Chief RACU 3, and Police Captain Brian James Taginod, Chief Digital Forensic Section. So we have from the Globe Telecommunications, we have John Merced, Corporate Communication and Sustainability Communications Lead, together with the team. And from the Smart Communications, we have Attorney Kenneth Rinion, Regulatory Affairs in their team. So we also have as our partners from the KBP Pampanga chapter who will be leading the questions and dialogue with our panelists. We have Bright FM, Father Joseph Mary Bakay, KBP Standard Performance Officer, together with Miss Chinchin and Puga, King Balagtas, Mika Iliano Serrano, Aaron Cortez, and Doris Trajano. So for CLTV 36, we have Mr. William Canlas, KBP Vice Chairman, Joey D. Mercado, Johnny Coronel. For RW 95.1 FM, we have Nina Carla M. Vitog, KBP Chairman, Chiki S. Kakal, Alex Sembrano, and Miss Sofia Velasquez. For GNN TV 44, we have Benny Ginto, which is auditor, Glendy Sembrano, Angel Dumagat, Irag Ignacio, and Francil Maniago. And last, the Angeles University Foundation, we have Cristina Reyes, KBP Secretary. So for this session, we focus on how the AFASA law helps in preventing scams. So the implementation of SIM registration policies and the latest effort from both law enforcement and telcos. So to start with the discussion, may we invite our panelists to share their opening statements. Siguro po we will start with the PNP Regional Anti-Cybercrime Unit. And then,
Okay, thank you. Good morning to all, lalo na sa mga televiewers natin. At saka to Director Erwin Lihardi. Thank you, sir, for inviting us, our unit, to share to the public what's now in our digital world or the cyberspace. Hoping that this kapihan sa NTC3, R3, na makatulong na makipag cascade what is now the prevalent crimes, the cyber crimes, and also to avoid and prevent or minimize the commission of cybercrime, on how to avoid being a victim of cybercrime. Also, the modus operandi of the so-called social engineering modus of the cyber criminals. So, pag-uusapan natin yan. Good morning to all. Thank you. Ano? Okay na?
so, thank you, sir. Sir, Artemio ba? Artem. Thank you, sir. So, now we hear from Globe.
So, magandang umaga po to everyone. We would like to thank NTC for holding this important conversation, and we see that this is a valuable discussion, no? And we will see how we can help work together with other partners to keep everyone safe online. And we're also open and collaborating with everyone how we can also provide our programs in Globe, no? In keeping safe, in keeping our customers safe online. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next is Smart, attorney.
Magandang umaga sa lahat. Maraming salamat, NTC, sa pag-organize sa kapihan. Ito, napaka-importante ito kasi hanggang ngayon, sobrang dami pang mga scammers na patuloy na nambibiktima sa atin, sa mga kilala natin, kaibigan, kamag-anak. Kahit ako, at one point na biktima din ako ng mga ganitong klaseng scam. So, it's also personal to me na matapos tong mga scam na to. And hopefully, lahat tayo, tulong-tulong tayo para matapos tong mga scams na ito. Good morning.
Okay, so thank you po to our panelists. Now, we are opening the floor to our friends from media for your questions. So, let's hear from our friends from media. If ever po, kindly state your name and organization. Thank you so much.
Good morning po, Patricia from GNN TV 44. Magandang umaga po. Diretso na po ako sa usapang text scam, no? Paano po sinasagot? Hindi ko po alam kung ano ho ang agency or company na pwede pong sumagot dito, no? Dati po, alam natin, nakaka-receive tayo ng mga messages from unregistered numbers. So yun, na-educate na natin yung public na hindi na sinasagot yung mga ganun eh. Pero ngayon, medyo mas alarming kasi pumapasok na sa mismong mga, yung mga official, like for instance, GCash, magsisend ng link na nanalo or nakareceive ka ng calamity assistance from DSWD. Paano yun nakakapasok o sa mga official na mga, yun nga, text, yun po.
Thank you for your question, Patricia. I'm Jan po from Globe Corporate Communications and Sustainability Group. Discuss ko lang po, there's a technology called MC Catcher. So it's a device that mimics a cell tower, no? So itong device, it mimics a cell tower, so it appears now a fake tower. So ang ginagawa niya, in a certain community, pumupunta po siya doon. It can be carried out, pwedeng sa bag, pwedeng sa car, hindi po natin alam. Hindi po natin nakikita kung saan po yan nakalagay. So kapag nandyan na yan sa community, dina-downgrade niya yung mga customers around it. And then, of course, your phone will detect na it's a cell site. So magpa-patch ngayon itong mga phone dito sa fake cell site na yon. Just to clarify po, it doesn't go through the telco infrastructure. Hindi po yan pumapasok sa telco system. It operates on their own, no? So kapag nandun na po yan, na-downgrade na, now, na-detect na it's a cell site, that's the time the mga scammers send messages, no? Very strategic po sila. They don't just go to community, send messages. Very opportunistic po, they know when to attack. Let's say there's a calamity. Pupunta ako sa community na natamaan, and then I'll send a cash assistance-related support na pang-scam to make it realistic, no? So, yun po yung ginagawa nila. Hindi lang po telco, even other brands, even banks, nagagawa po nila. So, we work together with the government actually, with the authorities, to stop the importation and use of these MC catchers. In fact, may mga ongoing talks na din po. Paano po yun? Kasi they can easily buy it online. In fact, marami na po tayong nababalita na may nag-buy and sell ng worth 25,000 na ganitong device po, no? So, yun po, we work with the regulators and see how we can stop this further. Kami naman po sa Globe, we continuously educate our customers through mga online channels. In fact, may mga ginawa na rin po kaming if you are the Globe customers and you are using Android po, no. Meron na po tayong ginawa through Globe One app. If you download the Globe One app, meron po kaming inactivate recently na SMS Scam Shield. So makikita po natin yan dito sa Globe One app. Makikita po natin itong stay safe from SMS scam. So when you click it, you can actually enable Globe One app to help further detect if ito ba ay suspicious messages, no? Ang Globe po, we don't send links na on mobile. Just to clarify, kapag naka-receive po kayo ng mga SMS with links, that's MC Catcher. So automatically, ano po yan, MC. Always read through the messages, no? Kasi nakikita po natin yan sa format, sa link, and the way how they send the messages po, no? Also, meron din po kami dito sa Globe One app na you can actually report. So when you go to Essentials, meron po tayong stop spam feature. Dito po, marami kami, very helpful po kasi even our customers can directly report yung mga spam messages na nakukuha nila. If you don't have Globe One app, you can just go through globe.com.ph/stop-spam. Yan. I hope it clarifies, ma'am. Thank you.
For konting context lang tsaka background. Merong time dati, last year, na may period na parang tumigil yung mga scam through SMS. Last year kasi we've intensified our SMS firewall. Nag-upgrade kami. Tapos up to the point na parang halos wala tayong scam na receive sa ating SMS, di ba? Ngayon, yung mga scammers nag-isip ng ibang technology naman kasi hindi sila makapenetrate sa SMS kasi may mga firewall kami. Dito pumasok yung mga IMSI catchers na nabanggit or fake cell towers, fake base stations. Etong technology na to, hindi dumadaan sa network namin kasi nga dahil sa mga firewall namin. Ayun, so kaya ngayon, very rampant tong IMSI catchers na to, nag-iikot sila. Doon sila sa mga dense areas, sa mga malls, business districts. Umiikot lang sila, backpack or naka-van, gano'n-gano'n. So, Kaya ngayon, sa Smart, we intensified our campaigns to educate our customers paano maiwasan to mga social engineering na strategies na ginagawa ng mga scammers na to. At the same time, we've intensified din yung mga fraud detection mechanisms namin sa SIMREG portal namin and so on. Of course, andyan din yung mga coordination namin with government para matapos na tong scams through MC catchers. Kasi ang hirap ma-distinguish kung ano yung real or not pag ginagamitan ng mga official na sender IDs ng mga institutions, banking or telco. So yun.
Isa pa po, to RD Wilson. Sir, kumusta ang epekto ng SIM registration? Or kay, kung sino pong gusto.
Ano ma'am?
SIM registration po.
Hindi.
Diba, kumusta ho ang naging epekto? Nakita po natin. Oh, sige na.
Okay, with regards to SIM registration, yun before, walang kumakalat yung mga scam, phishing, vishing, through social engineering. Maraming nabiktima. Kaya the Congress made a law, the so-called SIM card registration, nandoon yung mga guidelines na kailangan before ma-activate yung SIM, register to a certain person. But may nakita akong problema dyan. Bakit? Bakit? Nandyan ang SIM registration. Bakit mayroon pang scam? Bakit dami? Kasi sa SIM card registration, I don't know, attorney, kung sino makapag-clarify, may limit ba ang pag-register ng SIM? Parang wala ata, no? O kaya yun. So, sa SIM card, registered nga, pero you can register as many SIM as you want. Diba? Tapos, na doon yung papasok yung social engineering. Money muling activity under a FASA law, yung paggawa ng account ng a certain person na hindi naman sa kanya, which is scammer. May rinig kami na information na may pumapasyal doon sa mga barangay-barangay, mga remote areas na gumagawa ng GCash account, nagbibigay ng pira doon sa mga remote areas natin. Ginagawaan sila ng GCash account, binigyan ng 500 pesos para as initial ayuda. So, nakuha yung information nila, pangalan nila, ID nila. So, may GCash account na. Kasi doon daw ipapasok yung ayuda na susunod. That is part of money muling activities. So, once nagawaan na, yung SIM card account na yon, based on our experience, ginamit yon na as part of the layering activity. Under FASA, layering activity yung kuan. From one account to other account, pasa-pasa, other account, then ending is to the legit account. What is legit account? Mostly yung mga GCash center. Yun ang ending. Kami naman sa law enforcement agency, naghahabol kami sa kanila. But we cannot right there and there apprehend these people because every action of the anti-cybercrime law office or agency is kailangan may court order. So because of the so-called Data Privacy Act and the Bank Secrecy Law, yun ang barrier. So kailangan natin pupunta sa court. Applyan natin ng warrant to disclose si telco. No? Ngayon, kailan ba ma-release yung warrant to disclose computer data? More or less, abot ng 1 month. But the transaction is in a... Lagyan natin, matagal is 1 hour. From the victim to the fake account, another fake account, then to the legit account or the... Hindi natin sabing legit account. Pwede rin fake naman. Then output is yung physical money na doon sa GCash center. No, yun. Yan ang challenge namin. Ang tagal. Now, it turns out na makuha na natin ng identification ng suspect. Sabihin naman ni Kuan, kasi nag-apply tayo ng warrant to disclose computer data doon kay Tilco, Maya, kay Kuan, kay GCash. Ang lumalabas, mga different personalities. Then, of course, kasi sila yung suspect Pinailan natin ng kaso. Totoo talaga kakaso. Mayroon kami experience kakaso. Identified yung tao. Saan? Doon sa remote area. Nung nagkawarrant na, Of course, sinerve yung warrant. Pag serve namin ng warrant, alam mo, masaklap. Si tao pa lang ito ay farmer lang, walang cellphone, matanda na. Hindi nga marunong bumasa. So, ibig sabihin nagamit siya. O, paano nakuha? Kasi mayroon daw nagbigay sa kanya ng pera, tapos ginawa siya ng account para daw sa ayuda. In fact, yung account na yun, ginawa para lang na gagawing transit point ng pera na na-scam nila from the illegal activities. So, yan, isa ng challenge. Then, regarding, di ba, ang tanong about SIM card registration, kasi unlimited lang SIM card registration. If I may, sa akin lang to, I would suggest na dapat one SIM card per telco. Kasi pwede ka naman mag-Globe, mag-Smart, mag-dito. Ano pa ba yung mga yun? Mike-San. Kung para sa akin, para malimit natin ng ganito, ang magiging responsible yung every individual sa kanila account, dapat one SIM card per telco policy. Paano yun? Isang SIM card ng isang tao. If ever na mawala yan, you have to pay administrative liability from the telco for replacement of the SIM number. So by that way, yung na-assign sa iyo na naka-registered na SIM card, sa iyo na talaga yon. If ever na mawala yon, dapat you have to report it to the authorities and to the telco for outright deactivation. Tama, ma'am? Ganon sana. So kung magamit yan sa illegal, yun naman is responsible on that. If that is nawala or ganon. Kasi nandito sa AFASA law, yung pagbibinta, no? That is a money muling activity which is prohibited in under AFASA law, yung nagbibinta, mayroon dyan, nagbinta ng account. In fact, napasok namin, may mga GC yung mga yan, nagbibinta ng account. Kahit na Facebook account, bank account, GCash account, nibinta. Hindi naman kailangan yung SIM ibibigay, yung number lang naman. I-take over lang nila yan. Di ba? Tama? Take over nila yung number mo to other computer, then yung passcode mo, kukunin nila at sila na mag-control sa number mo. Then yun ang gagamitin na for money muling activity or pang-scam. Then, yun na nga. Paano yan? Dapat, kung ano natin ito, paano makuha yung about sa SIM card registration, no? Dapat one SIM card policy per one. Kasi magiging responsible. Itong nangyayari ngayon, marami dyan sa mga GC na volume of SIM cards, used SIM cards, may nahuli na nga kami dyan. Kinasuhan namin under AFASA law. Magbibinta 100, 500, tag 10 pesos. Mayroon pa kami nahuling minor. Through entrapment operation. Paano? Bakit? They are in good faith and using that SIM card. Binibili nila ng about 15 pesos each. Mayroong promo doon eh. Ano ba yun? Mga libreng 5 gigs ba yun? Ganun. Katipid. Tapos may points pa. Magkano points? 50 o 20. So, may points. So, they are after the points. They are after of the data. Free data. So, nakatipid. Binili nila ng 15, 20 pesos each card. Kasi by volume, by thousands, by hundreds. Mura lang yan. In fact, makikita nyo yan. Tingnan nyo sa marketplace. Mayroon dyan. Then, nakamura. So in short, ang ginawa niya, gamit siya ng data, naglalaro. Kumukuha siya ng points. Hanggang na-accumulate niya yung SIM card niya, yung SIM card, mabot ng 100, 500. Then pag abot ng ganyang number of SIM cards, pero naka-register under his name, binibinta niya. In fact, ang pagbinta niyan is under SIM card registration law is bawal. Kasi dapat, kung hindi mo na gamitin, ipa-deactivate. Or kailangan sa'yo talaga yan. Di ba? O, kaya nahuli natin si minor. Yung iba naman, siguro ginamit ng pang-scam. Di ba? Tapos, tapon na. O, mga ganyan. Kaya yun ang challenge ng about the SIM card registration. No? Dapat, sa akin lang as one SIM card policy per telco. Gusto mo ng smart? Oh, you have smart. Kasi malakas yung signal sa smart mo. Diyan ka sa smart. Pagdating mo sa opisina mo, malakas ang globe. Mahina ang smart. May globe ka. Pagdating sa ibang area, meron kang dito. O sun. Ano pa ba ngayon? So, naka-register na isang, sa'yo ngayon, 4 na SIM card. Bakit? What's the use nga magdagdag ka pa ng ibang number? Di ba? So, Mostly, kung sinong mag-isip, pag maraming SIM card, di mo naman masaksak sa cellphone mo yan lahat. So, ibig sabihin, reserve for whatever means yung iba. Di ba? O, dapat ganun regulate. Pero, yun na, challenge, problema. Then, regarding sa yan na, ginamit sa illegal activities yung SIM card, sa amin naman, medyo nahirapan kami kasi matagal nga yung warrant. Then, siguro 1 week, attorney, no? Sa inyo, bago kayo mag-reply ng yung warrant to disclose computer data. Oo. 72 hours. Upon receipt. Yes. Oh, yes. Oo. Kaya yun. Tapos galing sa court, tagal yun. Bakit? Hindi naman tayo ang priority sa court. Marami pang inasikaso yung court. Kaya matagal yung warrant. Ngayon, issue si court ng warrant to disclose. Sinerve natin kay Telco. Si Telco naman, outright nag-response. It takes, sabi natin, 72 hours o 2 days lang. Na-serve. Then, it turns out nga, ngayon, anong gagawin? Di na babalik, iwanan lang kami sa ere. What's the use? Nag-i-effort, pag-file ng kaso, hindi man lang isang bond paper doon, pero bigla ka lang iwanan sa ere ng complainant kasi wala na siyang magawa. Diba? So, mahirap sa SIM card registration, no, with regard the use of SIM card. Then, talking about, yun na, ginamit sa scam. Anong mga iba-ibang klaseng scam? Paano na-scam? Through social engineering. Ubusin ko na to. Ano social engineering? Yun ang mga tactics, technique, na paano makuha yung account information o yung mga money wallet. Sino naka-receive nito? Your balance and update via the link. Oh, naka-receive kayo dito? Oh, ngayon, pag once i-click mo yun, wasan. Tapos pagbintangan mo naman si Telco, alam na ang fault, nasa kanya pala, i-click ka ng click eh. So yung mga ganyan, huwag tayong click ng click. Tingnan mo natin, i-analyze kung you are entitled to receive ayuda. You are entitled to receive such being a raffle winner. Okay, another modus, paano napasok yung credit card account. Kasi marami rampant to, credit card account, savings. Kasi sa online banking mo, once mayroon kang online banking in a certain bank, makikita mo na doon yung, like example, land bank, kikita mo yung savings mo, makikita mo yung debit card mo, makikita mo yung checking account mo, makikita mo yung credit card mo. Ngayon, paano na dinidiskarte? Mayroong magpa-pop up nga sa mga online store. Or pag hindi online store, mayroong mag-ano sa'yo. Yun ang AMC catcher ba yung sinabi mo? Text blast machine yun. Kaya sabi, kahit saan, marami kaming nahuli niyan. Hindi mo nabalitaan yun, yung mga text blaster machine. Yun ang ginamit. Marami sa ECG nahuli na doon sa headquarters natin. Parang text blaster, one text, one sentence or one paragraph, send to mini. Thousands of kuan ba yan, mga receiver niyan, na nakikuha lang sila, nakihit sa mga cell site. Okay, sana tayo. Yun na yun. Paano modus ng, credit card, okay. Mayroon, experience ko rin yan. Na you won a promo price, mga 15,000, something like that. Rewards, okay. Tapos, pag you receive a reward, ano kagad? Mayroong pop up na link. You fill up this one. Hindi pa OTP yun. Fill upan mo yun. Pag fill up mo yun, credit card ang target doon. Iba pa yun. Ang pinag-usapan natin, phishing. Phishing is email or text. Ang tawag, magkukunin na bangko, phishing ang tawag doon. So dito muna tayo sa voice messaging. Text or yung sa link. Fill up ka sa link na yan. Number 1, kasi, ano yun? Anong napanulanan mo? You have received the reward. The worth 15,000. Mayroon pang will doon eh. Ano ka rin? Oh, may iPhone yun. Oh, naka-experience nyo yun. Pero hindi natin alam. Hindi ko mag-mention ko. Kasi, Ang nakakatakot doon, pag-click mo doon, manghingi ng, I think what kind of payment yun na about 200 pesos? Delivery fee. Okay. Pag-click mo doon, anong hiningi? Credit card account information. Anong account number, username, email address. Siyempre, input mo rin yung password mo. Kompleto. Once na-input mo na yon, kuha na nila yung information mo. Once nakuha nila yung information mo, access nila yung account mo. Mayroon akong complainant when I was in Iloilo. Credit limit niya to 300,000. Savings account, mayroon laman 300,000. Ang nangyari, inutangan siya ng credit through online utang, ng mga Lazada, mga ganyan. Doon, bumibili doon using his credit card. Tapos yung savings niya, nilipat ng other account. Okay, nilipat ng other account. Paglipat ng other account, pumunta sa opisina, 600,000 total, suma total. 300 yung credit, 300 yung savings niya, nilipat, 600. So we do the investigation, tracing. Of course, through the process, warrant to disclose computer data doon sa bangko. Pagdating sa bangko, foreign bank, hindi sa atin. International bank. Ngayon, doon dumaan. Pagdaan doon, thorough investigation. Si bangko naman is cooperative, nagbigay ng information. It turns out na yung ending, yung pinasahan ng pera, at saka yung nagkakautang na yun is fake information. Kaya kamot na kami sa ulo. Okay, anong information nandoon? Member ng PhilHealth ID. Bata, nakalagay. Address Cebu. So, inano talaga namin kasi yun ang naka-attach na kasi yung mag-ano ka ng bank account, di ba? Mayroong attached ID at saka picture. Pagdating doon, siyempre, from online investigation through, human. Traditional investigation, conducting surveillance and ground investigation. Pagdating doon, sa areas, kasi may address, nagtatanong kami, nag-verify, itong bata na to, kilala nyo ba to? Hindi, wala. Wala yan dito. Hindi naman yung familiar dito. Itong address, tamang address Wala yan dito. So, problema. Sunod, pinasok ko si PhilHealth. Pakicheck sa system nyo kung ito ba ay talagang member ng PhilHealth. Wala naman to sa system namin. In short, fake yung ID. Paano nakalusot? Puto lang investigation. Unsolved. Diba? Sa ngayon lang, bago lang yan. Kung mag-update sila. Okay. With regards to facial information, mayroon yung picture. Kayo, di ba? Yung mag-update. Tapos, mayroon nga akong account. May isa akong account. Ang nag-register yung anak ko. Sinawala niya sa akin ng GCash account ko. Binuksan ko. Hindi ko makabukas kasi hindi yung mukha ko ang hihingi ng update, facial recognition. Very good. Maganda tong ganito. Okay, sabihin natin na tama, nindot, totoo. Maganda. With facial recognition. Yun ang mag-appear kay let's say, GCash. Pero ang tanong is, ang pangalan, tama ba? Iba yung pangalan doon So, may pagdating ng GCash, ito yung pangalan. Meron nga kaming mga address dito Ito may Bulacan, binirify namin, scam. Kaso galing region to. Pagdating dito sa Bulacan, naikot-ikot namin, hindi naman kilala. Kasi most probably, yung mga scammer din, nagre-renta sa lugar, umiikot-ikot din.
Ano po maging liability po noong mga parang supposedly victims lang po ng ganyan? Kasi halimbawa po yung ID nila, nakuha lang sa somewhere. Kasi minsan sir, sa mga security guard, binibigay yung mga ID.
Okay, with regards.
Picturean lang somewhere, tapos nagamit siya sa mga ganun.
Hindi yan na-picturean somewhere mostly. Hindi, kung may sila, they are violation they are liable under the AFASA law. Yung nagbibinta, nagpagamit. Kung ma-prove natin na with consent, di ba? Pero pag sabihin natin, biktima lang din sila, paano mo sabi yun? Tama ba, attorney? Kasi, yes. Through investigation, malalaman natin. Oo. Kasi mayroon akong info dito na mayroong activity dito, money making activity, kulang lang kami ng kuan kasi takot yung informant namin na may nagpaparenta ng account. Doon sa kanilang account, pumapasok yung mga GCash galing sa biktima, pumapasok nila and mayroon silang commission. May mga ganun.
Sir, do we have information drive like this for this parang ganito pong campaign na ini-inform po natin yung public na wag nyong ibenta ang mga account nyo kasi eventually pwede kayo makasuhan, pwede kayo maging part ng scheme nang hindi nyo alam, yung mga ganun po. Na specifically po dito kasi mostly po ng ating mga information drive is yung wag lang pindutin ng link. Pero hindi po nila alam na yung mga pumupunta po sa bahay nila, tapos binebenta po nila yung account nila, eventually magiging part po pa sila ng syndicate na hindi po sila aware.
Yes. Just imagine Regional Anti-Cybercrime Unit, we have 17, 18 region. Tingnan nyo sa Facebook, may mga post kami dyan. Beware of this mga ganitong modus operandi or social engineering. Tapos may accomplishment kami like text blast machine, mayroon. Na nahuli nga ganito, ginagamit ito sa masamang paraan or illegal na activity, pwede rin sa legal, mga ganyan. Tapos may na-scam, may nahuli kami, mga ganyan. So that is for public to know nga sana hindi sila maging biktima. Ang tanong, bakit meron pa rin? Pero so far, before na wala pang SIM card registration law, rampant yung mga ganyan. Ngayon, medyo bumababa ng konti. Ang pinakamalami nating cybercrime cases na handle ngayon is swindling estafa. Swindling is magluloko, panlilindang, violation sa Revised Penal Code in relation to Section 6 of the Anti-Cybercrime Law. Paano to? Estafa. Mostly ito na estafa yung mga investment scam. Lalo na ngayon, maraming nag-entice na investment ngayon. Akong bahala sa pera mo. Napalaguin ko yan in 1 week. I will double your money. Nakarinig kayong ganon? Minsan totoo, minsan. Pero that is too good to be true. Tapos nagtiwala ka naman. Ngayon, binigyan ka ng platform. Ito, ganito yung pagpalago ng pera mo. Ito, another modus na naman to Kakarit-karit. Kabi ko nga di tayo matapos to isang araw pag ako mag-storya Si Director, nung nagkwentuhan kami, halos hindi matapos-tapos ganito, no? Saan ba tayo? Sa ano na? Another modus. Yung estafa. Investment. Parang investment Ako bahala sa pera mo, palaguin ko yan. In 1 week time, pinakamaliit, 30%. 5,000 mo, 10,000, 30%, may 3,000 ka. Tama? It's too good to be true. Pero kung marunong ka, I will assure you nga, that is true. Mayroon ako dyan. Alam nila yan, anong ginagawa ko. Double your money in 1 week. Pwede yan, kaya. Pero kung dadaan ka sa mga ganyang mga, tawag nito, scammer, pagdating yung pera, tapos dadalhin ka ng, ito, mag-invest ka, entice ka ng investment, ganito, Ngayon, pag-invest mo, bigay ka ng pera. Dadalhin ka sa GC nila, may GC sila. Now, sa GC nila, nandoon yung nagpapasikatan nga, thank you, I receive my commission, I receive my incentive, mga ganyan. Nga ikaw naman, parang maingganyo ka rin. Dito, to convince na kailangan palakihin mo pa yung pera mo. Ito yung pera mo, nag-double na. Anong gusto mo? Dodoblehin pa or ano? Sige, doblehin pa natin. Instead na nag-deposit ka ng 5,000 na una, umabot ng 100,000. Minsan, mayroon akong sa Iloilo pa ako, mayroon akong client, doktor pa naman. Magkano? 5 million ang nakuha sa kanya. Umiyak, tumakbo sa amin, imbestigahan. Pag-imbestiga, nalaman na yung pera, wala na. So what we are after is to the identification of the suspect and kakasuhan natin. Wala siyang interest kasi ang after niya is yung recovery of money. Madali lang pera Pag-receive niya, dumaan in 1 hour, ganun na, through clearing, then, saan yung ending? Mostly ang tinamaan yung GCash center. From the victim, punta sa yung fake account, then pupunta sa GCash Center. Ang ginagawa sa scammer, withdraw, pupunta lang palagi, cash out, cash out. Kaya suggest ko sana sa telco, kung may ganyan kayo, let those GCash Center na mag-record ng mga nagka-cash out sa kanila with their ID pair. Palawan, punta ka ng Palawan, di ba? Hingihan ka ng ID. Dati, wala pang, bago pang itong mga online activities, gumagamit silang LBC, Palawan, Emilier. Since cooperative naman si Emilier, Palawan, pag punta namin, bigay ka kagad information. So, mayroon na kaming lead. Huli kagad sila. Ngayon, di na sila gumagamit. Mostly yung mga online wallet na ginagamit nila. Kasi mabilis lang eh. Ngayon, ang ending GCash Center. GCash Center kasi walang record ng transaction. Ngayon, imbestigahan natin, request kay GCash na ipa-hold for a while. Hold the GCash. Si GCash Center, punta sa office natin, sir, bakit na-hold under investigation? Bakit, sir, ganun? Ayun ang tinamaan. Kasi yung account mo, na-trace nga, yan ay ginamit sa scam transaction. Kaya, verify natin kung kailan ba yan nangyari. O sino ba yung nagpa-cash out sa'yo na ganyan? Wala siyang masagot kasi wala naman siyang record of transaction. Request na lang for activation sa iyang account. Kawawa naman si GCash Center. Nagnegosyo lang. Di ba? So, investment scam yun Isa pa yun. Mga ganon. Investment, tapos mamaya, umiyak, punta sa office namin. Tinulungan natin, imbestigahan, since hindi na ma-recover yung pera, iniwan din kami sa iri. Sakit din naman sa ulo. Ang after namin, na-identify lang yung suspect, makasuhan natin, parang masaya na kami pag may mahuli kami. Hindi na, kasi yun na nga. Next is ito, rampant ito. Task scam. Task scam is under fraud pa rin yan. Stapa, swindling. Nandyan sa Facebook, wala ka bang ginagawa dyan? You're a household wife or a household helper. Mayroong part-time dito, mga pagkakitaan. Paano? Simple lang trabaho. You like, i-share, i-screenshot mo yung mga website na pinopromote daw nila. I-star mo lang yun, i-heart, na i-share. Screenshot mo. Bawat screenshot, mayroong 50 pesos na worth. Like example, baka screenshot ka, makasend ka ng 10 sa isang araw, minimum. That is worth 500. Wala kang ginagawa. Nag-screenshot, nag-share ka lang. Tapos, i-share mo sa kanila yung screenshot mo, ibig sabihin, may kantidad, may may value na yun. Tinuturuan ka. Ito totoo to. Tinuturuan ka, ganito yung proseso, you're now undergoing training, ganito, babayaran ka. Nung after nga naka-comply na nimo yung 10 yun 10. 10 screenshot na yon, hihingi ng GCash account mo. Your payment now is under process and we will deliver to your as your compensation, ganyan. Then, makareceive ka talaga ng pera. Sino nakareceive na dyan? Makareceive ka ng pera worth 500. After that trading, na-receive ka ng pera, siyempre, masabi mo, totoo. Legit to, di ba maniwala ka? Sunod, sabihin naman nila na, next natin is commission basis na. Commission basis. Akala ko, trabaho to. Online, ganun. Commission na pala to. Anong gagawin? Napulo na task ang gagawin mo. 10 task na yun. First task is you have to deposit 1,000. 1,000, sunod 3,000, 5,000, sa 10 na yun. So, in short, yung 10 na yun, suma total, that is, paabot yan ng mga 150 or to 200,000. Depende sa'yo. Ngayon, nung una is naka-receive ka ng 500, di ba? So, masaya ka, totoo. Sarap palang buhay ito, makakuha ko ng 500 per day. Wala man akong ginagawa, nag-like and share lang ako. Ayos. Di ba? Yan, naka-receive ka ng pera, ayos. Sunod, hiningi ka ng 1,000. Okay, you have to deposit 1,000 for first commission na ang 1,000 ay kikita ng 20 to 30%. Siyempre, deposit ka ng 1,000. Okay. Anong logi? Logi ka ng 500. First, Sunod is 3,000, 5,000. Aabot yung more or less sa 10. Ngayon, ang kondisyon, sabi mo, kunin ko muna yung komisyon. Hindi. Ang policy is, tapusin mo muna yung 10 task na yan bago mo makuha lahat. Mayroong teacher dito. Magkano yun? 200,000 yung nakuha niya. Ang masaklap lang, nagreklamo siya, pumunta sa office, paalis na rin siya ng abroad. Paano natin naman mapustro? Paalis ka ng abroad. Di sir, gusto ko lang naman kung pwede ba makuha yung pera. Tingnan natin kung saan tayo sa investigation. Gusto lang namin ma-identify. Okay. 10 task. Hindi siya umabot ng 10 kasi tama, umabot siya ng 10, mga 250,000 ng na-invoice niya. Kasi, ganito, 1,000, tapos dinala siya sa GC nila, ganito, naka-receive ng commission, then 3,000, hanggang lumalago. Then, ang ginawa nila, kasi hindi pwede i-withdraw nang hindi matapos yung 10,000, add siya ng add hanggang umabot ng 250,000. After sa 10 task na yan, umabot ng 250,000, kasi yun lang sinunod niya. Okay, pwede ko na, tapos na yung 10 task. Kunin ko na yung pera, yung commission ko. Hindi pa pwede kasi mayroon pang admin fee, may processing fee para pa ma-transfer sa'yo yung pera mo. Okay, kompleto na. 10, na 12, na 13 na yun eh. Okay, pwede na, kunin ko yung pera mo. Pagkatapos sa 10 task na yun, na 12 o na 13, kasi may admin, may legal fees ba, i-block ka na. Bye-bye. I'm sorry, my love. Pag once na-block ka, takbo sa opisina. Lista kung anong mga GCash number yung pinapasukan, anong mga Pimaya ba yun, o anong mga, e-wallet, pinasukan. Imbestiga namin. Apply warrant to disclose computer data, aabot ng 2 weeks to 1 month. Then, iserve kaya natin kay Telco after Telco nag-comply sa requirements. It turns out na yung mga pira na yun, wala na. Na-withdraw na. Anong ginawa ni teacher? Kamot ng ulo, umiyak, umalis. Sabi ko na, i-charge na lang to experience yan, ma'am, na natalo ka sa casino. Babawi ka na lang sa abroad. Ang after namin na ma-identify yung suspect. Pero, wala, umalis din naman siya. Hindi lang. Yun ang task scam. Marami yan. I hope na aware ka niyang ganyan. Okay. Mayroon tayo dyan, mga publication, may mga post kami sa Facebook na mga ganyan mga modus, pero bakit mayroon pa rin? Another, in relation to illegal access, under 10175, illegal access, paano? I think aware ka nito. Na-hack yung Facebook account sa kaibigan mo, na-hack yung Facebook account ng kapatid mo or ka-close mo, ka-office mate mo. Tapos sabihin na, gawa tayo ng GC, meron akong tinitext sa'yo na number para sa activation ng membership mo sa GC. Ikaw naman ay nagtiwala. Akala mo, totoo kasi kaibigan mo, kamag-anak mo, gano'n. Binigay mo yung code, which is the receipt password ng Facebook. Okay, receipt password ng Facebook. Binigay mo. In short, na-take over niya yung Facebook mo. Doon na-take over na yung Facebook mo, yung mga kaibigan mo, ang iyang ginagawa ay hihiraman naman niya ng pera. Pare, nandito ako sa grocery store, na-short lang ako ng konti kasi yung credit card ko na umabot na yung maximum limit. Baka pwede mo ako pahiramin dyan ng GCash. 5,000 lang. Ganon. Ikaw naman, nagtiwala ka kasi kaibigan, close, whatever, ka-office mate. Send ka naman. 5,000 times 10 or 20 people, magkano? Malaki-laki. Diba? Kaya yun. Yan ang usual sa illegal access. Kaya,
naman po ng mga telcos po natin, do we have, kanina ma'am nabanggit niyo po, di ba? Meron na po kayong ginagawa po ngayon in terms of dun sa illegal access of hacking po or hacking po ng Facebook account. Just in case na-hack po ako and I wanted my account na hindi na po siya mabuksan ng iba para hindi na rin po makapandaya or makapag-scam po. Meron po ba kayong gano'n na ino-offer po sa mga sa mga users?
So since social media, telco doesn't have any control within social media, no? May mga programs po ang Globe, to be specific, na hashtag Make IT Safe PH campaign. So under that, we promote different programs. So we have digital thumbprint program that caters to parents, teachers, and students. So talagang pinupuntahan po talaga namin ng mga schools. We talk about how scam works, ano yung different kinds of fraud, and ano yung pwede nilang iwasan. Meron po kaming 32 stackable modules. Like, we work hand in hand with DepEd and SHED talaga. And also, hindi po natin kakalimutan, of course, the elders. We have program for seniors called Senior Digizen. No? Tinuturuan namin sila how to set up their email accounts and paano nila madidistinguish kung itong account on Facebook ay scammers. Kasi sila yung prone to scams, correct? Yung iba na nakakausap namin, nasa scam yung kanilang mga e-wallet kasi kung ano-anong kiniklik nila. Hindi kasi nila alam kung ano yung difference ng mga spoofing, phishing. So yun, tinuturo namin sa kanila in a laymanized term na mas may intindihan nila. And of course, we work with LGUs also. We bring our mga volunteers, employee volunteers, talagang tinuturuan nila ano yung mga difference ng mga platforms, paano nila malalaman kapag sila ay naka-receive ng spoofing. Kasi for them, kapag hindi nila alam yung too good to be true, for them, kapag naka-receive sila ng SMS, yun na yun. So yun yung mga ginagawa naming mga workshops for different audiences.
At Smart, meron din kaming mga educational campaigns sa aming mga communities, especially sa mga vulnerable sectors. Regarding sa Facebook pala and other social media accounts, wala din po talagang access or control yung mga telcos sa ganitong klaseng platform. Kung may concerns po yung mga victims po natin, they can reach out to these platforms. Sa amin po, sa Smart, meron din po kaming portal na kung saan po pwedeng mag-report ang aming mga customers in case of smishing scams. They can go to our Huli Scam portal. Sa Smart website po, meron po doon Huli Scam. They can just click on it and fill up few details, and then we will do the necessary action po, whether the activation po nung number or yung link na attached to the message, and so on. Thank you.
William Canlas po from CLTV. May question ako. Gusto kong balikan yung sa MC Catcher kasi first time kong narinig yun, first time kong nalaman. While we appreciate yung telcos on how they disseminate information, on how to detect itong mga parang text na parang scams, di ba? Or yung mga nakukuha nila sa phones. Can we also fight technology with technology? For example, can the government do something to detect these illegal devices or i-jam itong mga fake towers that they are using now? I mean, or I don't know, partner with tech solutions company na para instead of us or telecoms doing their part in disseminating na ito scam ito, we appreciate that. Pero what if yung source yung pagtuunan ng pansin on how to detect the illegal devices or jam at least on when they are being operated? I mean, how do we fight this technology with a better technology? Do we have the capacity? I mean, does the government have the capacity? So, yun po yung question.
Yeah. So, good morning once again. So, yung regarding sa mga IMEI catcher na to, these are illegal device. So, ito yung once na it's a role ng lahat tayo, siguro ganito. Hindi natin alam kung paano kakapasok inside, no? Pero they are illegal in the Philippines. So, yun po. So, once meron tayong nakita online that they are selling this IMEI catcher, So you can report it to authorities and to the NTC. And meron na kaming mga nahuli within this year actually by the CIDG. Nakipag-coordinate sila in Tarlac. So may nahuli na kaming EI catcher. They're selling it online. Siguro galing po sa mga Pogo. Pogo, mga nagsara na Pogo. And yun po, talagang bawal po ang mga ganitong mga devices, equipment. Attorney.
In addition dun sa sagot ni Engineer Wilson, ni Regional Director, in a scope of things kasi, napansin nyo during the time na nagkaroon ng crackdown with regards to Pogo and online gambling and to other related crimes. Dahil sa sobrang crackdown ng PNP and other law enforcement agency, personally napansin ko na bumaba yung mga instances na merong ganyang catcher na nare-receive. Kasi ako, mapapansin mo kasi yung kanina na-explain ni Ma'am from Globe, mapapansin mo kasi yung catcher na yan, i-downgrade niya yung cellphone, yung, di ba may LTE Edge, di ba? Magiging 3G LTE, di ba? Yun yung signal kasi natin. So, itong mga catcher na to, pag halimbawa, pumunta ako sa isang lugar, nagda-drive ako, makikita ko yung signal ng cellphone ko, from LTE mawawala siya tapos meaning, meron na yung catcher doon sa area na yon. So ang problema kasi doon sa ganong technology, dahil maliit siya, mobile siya. So just last year nga, meron dito sa government center, yung isang engineers namin nakatanggap ng text. So in-advise ko yung IT namin, sabi ko, i-copy mo nga yung link na yan sa computer mo. Tapos itingnan natin kung anong code na nakalagay dyan. So pinatingnan ko sa kanya, yun nga, napakasimple ng code. Pero yung code na yun, ano ba, parang sa Globe, yung nagkaroon kasi ng scam na parang i-re-register natin yung mga SIM cards natin. So pinakopya ko siya. So sa computer para walang link sa sa online account. So yun, lumabas yung naka-globe siya. Tapos pag-click mo yung link, BDO account na yung pupuntahan niya. So naka-program siya, naka-coded siya doon na ganun yung So magaling talaga yung So ang kasi how to solve this problem, talagang crackdown to illegal activities. Kasi siguro mag-agree si Sir na syndicate kasi ito Hindi ito yung mga pangkaraniwang ako, mag-scam ako. Yung na-scamming ko yung mga tao. Ito kasi sindikato So, ang amount kasi itong mga devices na to kasi medyo may kamahalan rin Yung normal na ganitong device medyo mura. Pero as to, kung iproprogram mo yung halimbawa, gagawin mo siyang from this particular agency, yun, medyo mahal na yung equipment na yun So napasok lang siguro yun dahil nga sumabay sila dun sa mga activities ng mga sindikato na pumasok sa bansa natin. Kasi wala namang manufacturer dito sa Pilipinas with regards to these devices. And yung NTC, even before, in-advise na rin yung mga online sellers natin, online platforms like Lazada, Shopee, na bawal magbenta ng mga ganitong devices at huhulihin kayo. So yun yung doon.
Usually, based on with regard to Tix Blaster Machine, may nahuli naman last 31 July. With regards to yung Pogo, mostly sa mga Pogo, mga foreigner kasi. Oo. Pero yung mga scam hub, may mga Pinoy din. May Pinoy na na-recruit. Parang ni-recruit sila na as if call center agent, but yung trabaho nila iba pala. Kaya yung iba, tumakas, nag-report sa NBI, kaya maraming nakuha din sa NBI at saka sa PAOK natin. Na
Salamat, nakasingit din. Jody Mercado po from CLTV 36. Kay RD Wilson muna. Sir, syempre, talking about yung iba't ibang mga modus, paano po yung mga victims? How can they reach out sa NTC with regards to their complaints? Paano po yung processes natin? Paano ba pupunta ho ba sa office ninyo? Or mag-email ba? Siyempre yung iba baka senior, di alam mag-email. Or tatawag ba? Paano ho sila mag-reach out sa commission on how to extend yung complaint sila doon sa napag-uusapan po natin ngayon?
Yeah. So far, sa mga possible na magko-complain, they can visit our website. So on the website kasi they can file a complaint. Nandun na po the procedure. They don't need to visit our office. No, so it will lead you, tuturuan ka po niya kung anong dapat mong i-encode if you file a complaint. So nandun na po. Just visit our website ntc.gov.ph. And then dito po sa office namin, they can visit us physically, face-to-face. So they can file a complaint. So meron po tayong one-stop public assistance desk that may personnel who will assist us during this Then marami po kasi, actually we have 1,500 complaints received from this year lang po, one semester, na na-record ng complaints. And usually, yun po yung mga nag-visit. Iba pa po yung mga natin, mga online na directly, they file their complaint via our website. Yun po. So, ang paalala lang po natin sa public with this awareness, dapat magtulungan po tayo with the media. Kaya kami po yung nagpapasalamat sa inyo. Malaking tulong po itong ginagawa natin to help our community, yung mga mga vulnerable sector, yung mga senior citizen, yung mga students, and lahat po tayo. Sana we have also a bad experience na nagkaroon na tayo ng ganitong na-scam tayo. No? So we could educate our people. Tulungan po natin para mabawasan masugpo itong ganito. All you have to do, visit our website, ntc.gov.ph, or visit our, may mga pipilapan lang form pag nag-visit sila to file their complaints, yung mga nila. Marami po tayong natatanggap dito sa Region 3.
So maybe we can take 3 more questions pa po, no? Last 3 questions. So we have here, ma'am, from Bright FM.
Good morning po, Chinchinugid po from Bright FM. So, napag-usapan po natin kanina yung mga victims, no? Karamihan po ng mga questions ay tungkol sa mga victims. Ngayon naman po, may mga responsibilities din po ba na ini-impose doon naman sa mga financial institutions like e-wallet providers and yung mga bangko po natin regarding po sa fraud management at customer account security? And then kung meron po, ano po naman yung liabilities dito sa ating mga banks and e-wallet providers if they fail to protect yung security po ng mga customer?
Walang sasagot. Base sa batas in our Public Act 10175, nakasaad doon na yung mga bangko o mga financial institution nga hindi mag-cooperate sa investigation natin, pwede sila i-charge of obstruction of justice. May nakasuhan na kami niyan. Ayaw mag-comply, mag 1 week, nag-lapse na ng period. Kasi may period yan, attorney, di ba? Kasi pinupokpok din kayo sa court. O, sana yung service of warrant nyo. Wala, bakit ninyo na-return, di ba? So, they are liable for obstruction. Yan. Then siguro administratively kay Bangko Sentral because they are the under financial institution under Bangko Sentral. For administrative kay Bangko Sentral, doon sa amin, pwede kami mag-file ng, in fact, may nakasuhan na kami niyan. Na-filean na kami niyan, obstruction. Or else, subject, contempt of court. Kasi court order yan hindi mo sinunod. Di ba, attorney? Oo.
Okay. Good morning po. Nina Carla, DJ Tyra Mendoza Vitug po, KBP Chairperson, and from RBC Radio World Broadcasting Corporation po. Okay, so it seems na napaka-high-tech po ngayon ng mga scammers, o di kaya yung mga ganitong mga hindi magandang gawain. Nakakapag-adapt po ba tayo pagdating sa pagiging high-tech po nila? And how do the organizations collaborate para maging updated po tayo dito sa mga sistemang gamit nila? And are we also inclined at using, let's say, AI to address itong mga ganitong klaseng kaganapan po? Anyone from the panelists po?
For Smart, siguro yung sa SIM registration na lang po, marami kaming na-incorporate na mga technical enhancements, especially dun sa verification natin. Hindi ko lang ma-disclose in detail, baka kasi ma-take advantage ng mga scammers natin. Pero kasama na rin dun yung AI detection ng mga fraudsters na gumagamit ng AI sa pag-register ng SIM. So mga ganong klaseng enhancements po, ongoing namin ginagawa sa SIM registration.
So for Globe naman po, as mentioned earlier, we're beefing up our security defenses then. So one of which is the scam shield that you can access through Globe One app if you're an Android user. Yung iOS padating pa lang po. And also we have Stop Spam portal where you can report any fraudulent experiences. Tapos, kasi we don't block numbers right away, we work together with authorities pa, if ito ba ay may mga ganitong suspicious messages, tapos that's the time we block links or SMS. Sa Globe po, just to share with you, yung mga efforts po namin at scale, we've already blocked 28 million spams and scams messages. And we've also blocked na rin po 64,000 mga fraudulent SIMs, yung mga ginagamit po ng scammers. And in terms of malicious links naman po, we've already blocked 2,500 domains. And kasama na rin po dyan yung 87,000 malicious links or and also kasama na rin dyan yung mga content with child exploitation. So marami po tayong ginagawa sa Globe. Thank you.
From Smart po, dadagdagan ko lang po, do we use AI now? Yes, we use AI, pero it is post-event. You analyze what happened. So kung na-analyze mo yung forensics, you can predict probably paano maapektuhan yung iba, anong modus. So it's a method of finding out. Pero in the process of, yung unang tanong niyo po is the technology. Sumasabay naman po tayo sa technology sa buong mundo. All telcos, sa internet, sa wireless technology, 4G, 5G, ngayon papunta na ng 6G. Sumasabay po tayo. Problem po is the scams are all same. They're based on impersonation of voice calls, SMS, at saka online. Ano ho nababago doon? Yung pinaka-critical, it's the human factor. Kasi wala pa namang hong na-scam na clinic lang niya isang link, na-scam na siya. Doon lang ho nag-umpisa. Nag-click ka ng link, then nag-umpisa na. You inputted more data or you answered calls and nag-reveal ka ng data. Kaya yung human factor po ron, yung pinakamahirap. Kaya po maganda po yung effort natin na ganito po, sir. Yung consumer education. Kasi kahit anong scams po gawin nila, kung marunong ho tayo, hindi tayo ma-scam eh. At saka, lastly po, yung sa mga victims, we sa telcos po are trying our hard to educate them even before it comes into being. So, pasensya na po kung minsan napapatext kami bigla or napapapost doon sa website na mga warning. Kung babasahin po natin at saka we'll take it to heart, baka hindi man ho kayo yung maka-avoid, baka yung you'll be able to analyze na too good to be true. Pag too good to be true na ho, sabihin nyo na yung mga kaibigan nyo. Kasi kung minsan humingi ng pera via text lang, ano ba naman yung tawagan nyo? Kahit Viber call, libre naman ng calls na. So, yun lang po ma'am. Sana nakatulong po yung sagot. Salamat po. Actually, yun po yung tatanong ko sana. No? Pero dalawa, two-pronged yung tanong ko muna. Una, on the part of the government po, kay Colonel po ito or kay RD if he wants to answer din. Kasi you've been talking about the SIM card registration law. No? So, after what have been said here, what would you push for the amendment? Or para dun sa mga band-aid solutions you've been telling us, meron po kayong mga proposals kanina on what to do regarding doon sa may recommendations kayo. Could you please, saan po yung ano nyo doon? Saan po yung position nyo for the amendment and also with the pushing of your recommendations with regard dun sa batas? Pangalawang tanong po, naumpisahan na po ni Sir, no? Kasi karamihan dun sa mga naloloko is dahil nga gusto nila yung one time, big time, uy, pera to. Ganon, no? So, ano ba yung mga simplest na pwedeng sabihin sa mga kababayan natin? Kasi parang sasabihin na, uy, you have to go to this ganyan or ganyan-ganyan. Pwede bang magbigay tayo ng kahit 5 lang na, wag niyong i-click ito. Or kapag may nag-chat ng ganito, wag mong sasagutin. Or hihingi ng pera, tawagan mo muna yung tita mo. Can you please state yung mga ganitong klaseng mga hakbang? Kasi kasi medyo, kasi yung mga madadaling tandaan lang, sabi ng NTC, ng PNP, wag mong i-click ang link. Kasi kung masyadong technical yung sagot natin, is they wouldn't understand eh. Kasi yung mga nood natin, actually kahit yung mga millennials, TLDR, alam niyo po yung TLDR, too long, didn't read. So gusto nila, pag sinabi niyo, wag mong i-click yan, yun ang gagawin. Yun po sana yung gusto naming marinig from anyone sa panel natin. Pero gusto ko muna yung una, sir, yung doon sa for the amendment and the pushing of your recommendations for SIM card registration law.
Sa akin lang, for possibility. Pero wala man ako sa position to recommend. But that is my suggestion. Nasana, one SIM card policy per telco. Ganon. Siguro malimit natin yung use of SIM cards, di ba? Pero hoping. Then with regards to sabi mo na, yun na nga, marami kaming publication dyan. Pinapublish namin dyan sa Facebook. Na do not link if that link is not intended for you. Kung may manghiram, manawag o matawag o emergency, tawagan nyo muna to verify kung totoo ba. Di ba? Tapos yung mga investment na too good to be true, huwag nyo paniwalaan yan. Yung bangko nga, 5% lang per annum. Yan pa, unless kilala mo, alam mo kung anong business ang pinasukan nyo na talagang lalago. Di ba? Like, yung mga cooperative, sure hit yan, di ba? Pero yung hindi mo kilala, yung who is in the other party, yung magtiwala ka kagad, it's unfair naman, di ba? Meron nga rin dito biktima. 200,000. Bumili ng aircon. Aircon ba yun? Tanner aircon. Magtiwala kagad, ang galing social engineering. Bili siya ng aircon, binigay cheque. Ngayon, mamaya daw, depositohan niya. Yung cheque palang binigay, close account. Tumakbo sa office natin. Kung bakit ka nagtiwala, hindi mo kilala yun Kaswa na lang natin. Ang tanong is, hindi rin niya kilala. Paano may balik yung pera? Ayun na nga. Kasi, paano siya makakolekta? Kasi, kinuha na yung aircon. Basta, ang ano ko lang dyan is, for the public, kung medyo you think imposible, huwag kang masyado maniwala kaagad. Tapos yung mga emergency cases, ito, nangyayari ito. Tinawagan yung asawa abroad. Emergency daw, yung asawa mo na-disgrasya abroad. Kasama ako sa sa husband mo. Tapos, nanghingi ng pera for admission fee, yung mga initial payment sa hospital. In fact, hindi pala totoo. Ngayon, may tatawag naman kay husband na we are from Telco, we are conducting system update, system maintenance, shut down your cell phone for an hour so that will not be affected. Ikaw naman, naniwala ka kasi may mga ganun, di shut down mo rin. After 1 hour, in fact, ninegotiate na yung asawa mo, hiniyan ng pera. After 1 hour, giyon mo na, si Mrs. nakakontak na sa'yo. Nung nakakontak sa'yo, kumusta? Na-disgrasya ka daw na emergency. Wala naman. Hindi ka makontak. Inoff ko lang yung cellphone ko for 1 hour kasi may tumawag. Ito, may humingi sa akin ng 200,000 kasi pambayad din ng hospital. Wala na. Hindi ko alam yun. Ganyan. Lalo na yung mga abroad. Kaya kayong mga kahinahinala ang mga communication, kaya dapat we have to be wise. Pero advantage ngayon yung technology, lalo na yung kuan. Para sa akin, I'm still go with the online transaction. Tip ko lang sa lahat para sa akin. Lahat na, halimbawa, magbabayad ka ng kuryente. Ano po yung babayaran natin? Cellphone payment. Kuryente, cellphone, whatever, payable dyan. Anong mga payables mo, online. Maganda yan. Pero ang suggestion ko lang na you use an account na, halimbawa, e-wallet. Whatever e-wallet is that? Maya, GCash, na intended for that purpose, pangbayad. Loadan mo lang siya intended for the payment kasi baka mamaya ma-compromise yan, ma-hack yan. 500 ang laman. Huwag nyo ibigay yung credit card kasi pag mag-input tayo ng credit card, di ba? Hingiin lahat, halos lahat. Ikaw makapagduda. Lahat na information mo doon. Kaya hindi ako gumagamit ng credit card. I use, actually, really, GCash. Tapos yun ang pangbayad ko, bayad. Tapos ang laman niya, kung anong babayaran ko ngayon, yun lang yung kakakarga ko. Then after that, standby, may laman yan, 500 for pang-load. Kung makompromise man yan, at least hindi masakit, di ba? Whereas yung mag-debit ka online, debit card, using debit card online, delikado yan. Baka na-phishing na tayo, di ba? So then, sa natin, sa social media, marami kaming posts dyan. Halos everyday nag-post kami ng mga cybercrime tips. Paano ma-avoid na hindi tayo mabiktima, paano ma-avoid yung mga scam. Maraming klaseng scam. Tsaka, lahat-lahat na mga anti-cybercrime tips, 18 regions kami. Dapat hindi pa rin napapansin. Pero para sa akin ngayon medyo bumababa na konti yung cybercrime incidents ngayon. Ang tumataas lang ngayon is yung libel. Because of the awareness of the people na through social media, nga may batas, nga ganyan, doon na nag-away-away sa social media, nagsisiraan na doon. Kaya marami kayong client. Hindi natin mapigilan yan because of awareness. Kaya lang sa amin, sa hard sa investigation namin. Kasi mostly sa mga suspect, mga fake account. Kaya doon din ang challenge doon kay sa kay Telco. Not Telco, kay Mita ba yun? Mita. Kaya doon, pahirapan kami doon. Kasi walang libel doon sa ibang bansa. Which is the violation of their supposedly violation of community standard. Wala. Kaya yun, tumaas yung libel cases natin. Lalo na before election, dami mga post diya, paninira ng mga political parties. Ngayon, tapos ng election, tahimik na ang social media. Di ba? Thank you.
Sir, agree ako sa sabi nyo. Yung mga pag nagdududa, nagpapapatay yung cellphone.
Yes.
Marami yung nag-uugat sa ganyan. Kaya tama po yung suggestion nyo, huwag basta-basta maniniwala. Lalo na kung kayo ang tinawagan. Kung
Yes.
kayo po ang tinawagan, tapos humingi ng data, nagpapakatay ng cellphone, kung ano-anong tinatanong o sinasabi na inganyo, at kayo ho'y nagduda and you're a smart subscriber, put down the phone. Kung gusto niyo mong ma-validate ho, kung baka naman talagang may legitimate na purpose yun, you can always call the smart hotline, star 888 on your phone. Makikita niyo matitrace po. Kasi mahirap po yung ikaw yung tinatawagan, hindi mo alam yung number kuminsan. Kaya isa pang rule ho dyan is hanggat hindi mo kilala yung number, wag mo na sasagutin. Kung nasagot mo man lang, ang isang modus po ngayon in other countries na gamit AI is voice sampling. So, kaya kung nakatanggap kayo ng lalo na foreign number na hindi nyo po kilala, wag na ho kayong sasagot ng hello, yes, what is your name?
Yes.
Ang ginagawa po kasi nun, they're taking voice samples from you. Tapos tatahiin nila. It's actually a bot po. Nire-record. Kung minsan, they will give you voice responses via questions. So they engage you. So nagsasample sila. Mamaya, makakabuo na sila ng complete sentence using your voice. Hindi kung sagutin yun, di sabi mo, we, gano'n na lang. Diba?
Ang malakas ngayon yan, yung papautangin ka sa credit card. Your credit card is, you're entitled for loan, ganito, tapos hingi na information sa'yo. Ang gagawin mo yan, is ditma mo na lang yan, or ang most likely sinasabi ko, punta na lang ako sa office nyo para close na. Then with regards to mga emergency call, mga emergency cases, or manghiram na emergency, verify nyo muna, tawag muna. Kasi kung scammer yan, hindi yan sasagot. Kasi alam mo naman yung voice ng kaibigan mo eh. Hindi yan sasagot. Pag hindi sasagot, wag na. Dead man na yan.
At hindi lang voice call, sir. Pag duda pa kayo, mag-video call na kayo.
Yes,
para
that's
sure
the
na
best.
kayo.
Pero,
Kasi kung scammer yan, sir, hindi rin magpapakita yan.
na-scam din ako dyan.
Paano, sir?
Ano ko sa'yo, paano ha?
Sige nga, sir, para matuto rin kami.
Sabi niya, sir, emergency, kailangan ko ng pera. Pahiram naman ng pera dyan. Alam ko, kaibigan kami. Video call ko siya. Sumagot naman. Okay. Ano bang kuhaan? Ano bang kailangan mo? Sige. Baka Gcash lang, sir. Next week, babayaran kita. Binalala ko ng Gcash. Alam mo, ang galing?
Nakita mo yung mukha, sir?
Kita ang mukha. Kaibigan kami. Alam mo, kinabukasan, dineclare niya yung Facebook account niya na hack daw. So, ibig sabihin, marami siya nautangan, na-hack yung Facebook account niya, hindi na siya yun. Pero, hindi siya makaligtas sa akin kasi nag-video call kami. Siningil ko pa rin. Huwag mo akong lokohin. Ganyan. Siningil ko pa rin.
Ibang klaseng scam yun, sir.
Oo. Siningil ko pa rin. Nakabigay siya sa akin ng kalahati. Yung kalahati kasi nagproblema. Hindi ko na siningil. Kalahati lang. Okay na yun para sa akin. At least nagbayad naman siya ng kalahati. Pero siguro may na-scam siyang iba. Dineclare niya na hack yung account niya. So imagine that. Kung hindi ka maka-scam sa akin.
Thank you for sharing, sir. At least alam na namin ngayon. Kung may utang, kahit nag-video call, pwede kang mas-scam.
Video call. Tapos maganda niyan kung mangutang sa'yo, manghiram niya, kaibigan mo man, video call mo, screen record mo para maibidensya ka. Punta ka sa office namin na-scam ka or na-swindle ka at this person na kaibigan mo. Di ba? Pero may mga ganun. Pero case-to-case basis. Okay.
So we will now be taking our final question.
Last question po. Kay RD po. Ang KBP, pinapasubmit po kami ng mga illegal radio stations. Meron po bang namo-monitor ang NTC dito sa Pampanga na may mga illegal radio stations? At ano po ang ginagawa ng NTC?
Okay. So thank you, Sir Benny, for the question. Actually, meron na kaming na-conduct na inspection based on the instruction from the commissioner. May mga complaints we receive. Mentioning ko lang yung municipality. Pero ano lang na, there is one in Arayat and one in San Fernando. So far, yung Arayat, we have issued 2 cease and desist order. And keep coming ang palaging nag-on area. Pero ano na po yun eh. Done na po yun. So nagawa na po natin yung trabaho natin. And the commission has already issued another cease and desist for that. Then yung dito po sa area natin dito, meron din po kaming na-receive na report. And usually po yung report galing naman po sa atin, kung minsan kababayan natin or some from the media also. So we have already conducted the report. Nag-conduct na kami ng inspection investigation, and it was already forwarded to the commission, no? So nasa taas na po. So yung unang report namin actually, it's not operating. Then the second time, after monitoring activities and we found out that they're still operating, so we conducted the second investigation, and that second investigation was already forwarded actually last year during the election time. So it was already forwarded to the office of the commission for legal action na po. So wala na po sa amin, na naghihintay na lang po tayo ng order from the commission kung anong appropriate action, legal action that they have. So yun po yung status natin. So for dalawa lang naman po yung na-receive namin complaint ngayon. And if ever, just send us a copy kung may mga email us yan, kung ano naman po. Maganda po. Siyempre, lahat po tayo dito, yung mga KBP members are all legal.
Salamat
may
po.
mga dokumento, may mga franchise po. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you po for the meaningful exchange of Q&A. And before we proceed to the next, let us acknowledge po the presence of our former Regional Director of NTC, Director Alzora Elcechon, together with Attorney Sol from Group. Thank you po sa inyong pagdalo. So, before we proceed to closing message, let us first, awarding of certificate. So, ito po ang nilalaman ng certificate. Certificate of Appreciation is presented to yung mga panelists natin and other guests for sharing valuable insights as a panelist during the kapihan sa NTC Region 3, Usaping TechScam at iba pa. So, held on August 4, 2025, in celebration of NTC's 46th anniversary at the NTC Region 3 office, just the Macapagal Government Center, City of San Fernando, Pampanga. So your presence and contribution greatly enriched the discussion on scams related to Republic Act Number 11, 1987, which is the AFASA, and helped raise public awareness on cybercrime and SIM card registration concerns. So given this 4th day of August 2025, City of San Fernando, signed by our OIC Regional Director, Engineer Wilson Lijarde. So we have, the first certificate is awarded to Globe Telecom Incorporated. Next, we have Smart Communication, Inc. And Police Colonel Artemio B. Ricabo. So next certificate of appreciation is presented to Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas, Pampanga Chapter, in sincere appreciation of your active participation and support as a media partner and interviewer during the kapihan sa NTC Region 3 Usaping Testcam at iba pa held on August 4, 2025 in celebration of NTC's 46th anniversary at the NTC Regional Office 3, Diosdado Macapagal Government Center, City of San Fernando, Pampanga. So given this 4th day of August 2025, City of San Fernando, signed by our Regional Director, Engineer Wilson Lijarde. So, before po, to formally close po for today's event, let us hear a brief message from KBP Chairperson, Ma'am Ninia Carla M. Vitug. Sorry po.
Isang magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Masaya po kami na nakapasyal kami sa NTC. And of course, to see everyone, ang ating mga panelists. On behalf of the Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made today's kapihan sa NTC Region 3 a meaningful and productive exchange of knowledge and awareness. Of course, we thank Engineer Wilson Lijarde, palakpakan naman po natin, OIC Regional Director of NTC Region 3 for hosting this interesting and leading this initiative. And of course, Attorney John Ryan E. Sequit for giving us a clear and comprehensive overview of the AFASA law. Palakpakan po natin si Attorney. And the critical role that the NTC plays in its enforcement and in public protection. By the way, happy 46th anniversary to NTC. Our sincerest appreciation goes as well to our esteemed panelists from the Regional Cybercrime Unit 3, Police Colonel Artemio B. Ricabo. Palakpakan po natin si Colonel Artemio B. Ricabo. PMAJ Evangeline M. Geminiano na nandun po sa likod kanina. Thank you, ma'am. The representatives from Smart Communications, Attorney Kenneth Reganion Regulatory Affairs, Smart Communications Incorporated. Ms. John Merced, Globe Corporate Communications and Sustainability Communications Lead. Thank you so much as well. for their insights and expertise on scams related to the AFASA law, especially in the evolving digital landscape. The threat is real. One way or the other, may kilala tayo na nakaranas nito or tayo mismo ang naka-experience nito. But with collaborative efforts like this, we are making important steps toward protecting our communities. Kami po sa kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, we are here to spread the information, of course, kasama yan in coordination with NTC, para maprotektahan po natin ang ating mga mamamayan regarding dito sa mga hindi kaakma-akmang mga gawain ng mga kawatan. And to our KBP Pampanga chapter members, thank you for your engaging questions. Ang dami pong tanong, no? Kung tutuusin hanggang mamaya, pwede pa tayong mag-usap. But we need to cut it short. And for the active participation in today's forum, your role in bringing these discussions to the public eye is indeed vital, especially as we work together in promoting responsible broadcasting and public awareness. As we close today's forum, may we all carry with us a renewed commitment in informing, protecting, and empowering the Filipino public through ethical journalism and collaborative governance. Muli, maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang sambayanang Pilipino.
Thank you so much po. So once again, thank you to our panelists from the PNP Regional Anti-Cybercrime Unit, Region 3, Globe, SMART, and other colleagues from KBP Pampanga Chapter. We also thank all our guests and participants for being with us today. So let's continue working together to ensure a safer digital environment for every Filipino. So maraming salamat po at magandang umaga. So picture taking lang po daw po muna.